So hello guys, here we have question number 36 from Build Up Your Understanding exercise of the chapter Electrostatics from Pathfinder. And I would like to tell you that this question is very similar to the last question I did on the channel from 8 question number 8 from Check Your Understanding of Electrostatics. So be sure to check that out before you look at this question. So yeah, now let's look at the question first. A point P is located equidistant from both the plates and near one edge of a parallel plate capacitor as shown in the figure. In an experiment, maintaining charge Q0 on the bottom plate constant, potential V and modulus of electric field E at the point P are measured for different values of the charge Q on the upper plate. In the following graphs, the potential for one value of the charge Q and modulus of the electric field for the two values of the charge Q as shown in the are shown in the as functions of the ratio of the charges R equals to Q over Q naught. And here we have been given two graphs, and we have to deduce analytically dependence of the potential V and the electric field vector E at point P on the ratio R of the charges. So if you want to give this question a try without the hint, you can do it now. So the hint is same as the last question, that you have to use scaling. So if you want to try it again with this hint, you can do it now. So yeah, now let's look at the solution. So for looking at this problem, let's look at the potential and the field separately. For potential, so first of all, basically what the question is asking us is that we are given the value of all the potential at certain charge of the plates, and we have to find it for any general ratio of the charges. So just like I said in the previous problem, in the Check Your Understanding question 8, whenever we have to relate ratios and stuff, scaling is quite a useful tool in many of the cases. So now let's look at this. How can we apply scaling here? Now let's look at the potential due to the two plates separately. So at this point, we can write Vp to be due to the two plates separately as Vq and Vq naught. Vq is this, and Vq naught is this due to this plate. And by dimensional analysis, V will be directly proportional to Q by L. But here, as L is constant, as both the plates are same and the geometry is same, so L is constant here for both the plates, so V will be only proportional to Q. So Vp can be written as K times Q plus Q naught, where K is some constant depending upon their geometry. Now we have to determine this constant K and for that we can use the values from the graph. So basically we have to find the K to find the general equation as a function of R. So from this graph, we have been given that at the value of 1 R equals to 1, we get the value of V equals to V naught. So from the graph, the value of Vp is V naught at R equals to 1. So substituting R equals to 1 in the equation, we found K times Q naught plus Q naught equals to V naught. Here we had been given Q by Q naught equals to R, so here Q will be equals to Q naught in this case. So the constant K will be equals to V naught by 2 Q naught, where V naught and Q naught are two constants which we have been given. So the expression for Vp simplifies to this value, as we had V equals to K times Q plus Q naught, and Q can be written as Q naught times R, and taking Q naught common, and we found Q naught K equals to V naught by 2. So from here Vp equals to V naught times 1 plus R over 2. So that's the answer for the potential. Now let's consider the electric field. Now as it's clear, this won't be as simple as the potential, as as potential was a scalar while electric field is a vector. So we'll have to consider it vectorially, and so like this we consider it like this, that the electric field due to plate having charge q will be eq, and that due to q naught will be eq naught, but they both will have different magnitudes, but they will be at the same angle with the horizontal because they have the same geometries. And they will be eq will change direction based upon r. When r equals to 0, it will point away from the plate q, while when r is less than 0, it will point towards plate q. So these two are the cases. I've just shown them, but we will only need this case because r can be positive or negative in the equation, so it won't matter really. So now here I have assumed that the electric field due to the two plates at an angle theta with the horizontal line, and the magnitudes will vary with the charges, just as I said. So again, by dimensional analysis, E directly proportional to Q by Q over L square, but here as L is constant due to the geometry is constant, so E will be directly proportional to Q. So the electric field due to Q and that due to Q naught will be as a proportion of their charges Q by Q naught, and it is given to be R. So from here, writing them along x-axis and y-axis separately, because then it will be equal, as we have been given the values at r equals to 1 and -1, so they will simplify a bit. So from here we get that Ex will be equals to Eq plus Eq naught times cos theta, and as we know that Eq equals to Eq naught times r, this can be written as Eq naught times 1 plus r times cos theta. And similarly Ey equals to Eq naught plus Eq times sin theta, which will be equals to Eq naught times 1 minus r times sin theta. This can be seen easily from the diagram. Now considering the values given in the graph to determine the constant, so the graph is something like this. At r equals to plus 1, the value of electric field is E2, and when r equals to minus 1, the magnitude of electric field is E1. So from here, when r equals to 1, the expression of Ey gives us 0. This value becomes 0, so Ey becomes 0. So the only remaining field is Ex, and that will be equals to 2 Eq naught times cos theta, which will be equals to E2. So we found Eq naught, with Eq naught times cos theta, which is a constant in terms of a given constant, which was E2. And similarly, when r equals to minus 1, Ex will become 0, and Ey will be equals to 2 Eq naught times sin theta, which will be equals to E1. And on substituting these values in the original expression for the electric field and writing the Ex and Ey parts separately, we get this expression, which reads Ep, the electric field at point P, will be equals to half of E naught, half of E2 times 1 plus r I cap plus E1 times 1 minus r j cap. So this is the final expression for the electric field, and that's the final answer for this question. So hope you all liked the video. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.